You're this perp back with another video, and we have a lot, I mean a lot to talk about in this episode. This is my Power Season 6, Episode 6 review. And before I get to this review, I want y'all to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and follow me on Twitter at perpminded, where I post a bunch of random shit and updates and stuff like that. It's really cool. But anyways, enough wasting your time. Let's get right into it. We have the duo of Ghost and Tommy back together temporarily to figure out how they're going to come up with $2 million to give Vincent to get Tariq back. But there's something a little bit more shady going on with Tariq and Vincent. But you know, Vincent is just pretty much just trying to finesse Ghost and Tommy for the $2 million, and you know, they go off to do their own thing to figure out how they're going to make this money in 24 hours. Tommy goes to take some extra product from Jason. Jason is just kind of nonchalant about it, but I think I'll explain what happens with him later. And you have Ghost, on the other hand, going to Tate and trying to talk out a deal with him to give Ghost a loan of $2 million, and Tate just looks at him crazy like, what the fuck? And I feel like Ghost has something really interesting planned for Dre, because we honestly need to wrap this up and get Dre out of the way. He should have been dead last season. They're pretty much just kind of just milking his appearance at this point, and it's a little annoying. I just wish they would hurry up with his storyline. We have a few episodes left, but not that many where I don't want to see like him die at last minute. I want to see that happen in the next few episodes or next couple episodes. So, you know, Tommy and Ghost are getting ready to go, and things are kind of looking shaky with, you know, Tommy and his crew with Duped and all them. They're not really feeling the direction he's going in, besides BG. And BG's the only one that is kind of still loyal to Tommy. Everybody else is kind of questioning his loyalty and just what is he doing and why is he being so mysterious. Going back to Ghost, you know, he gets pulled over and he's questioned by these two cops. One of them is Blanca, and the other one is a newer cop that we haven't seen. And I have a theory about her, but I'll get into that later on. But they're pretty much trying to figure out the whereabouts of Tariq and where they can find him, which is really smart on Blanca's part, because she's like the only smart cop in this whole entire show, more than Sax most. So then we get to a scene where Vincent and Tariq kind of have this deal, but you know, it kind of falls through once you get through the episode, and Tasha finally meets Vincent and just pretty much kind of just intimidates her, and Tasha's just worried about just getting Tariq back, which I really enjoyed Tasha in this episode. I know, right? Shocker. She's not one of my favorite characters, but I really liked her in this episode. I feel like from an acting standpoint, she really stepped it up. And so we go to Tommy's crib, where Ghost and them are trying to figure out how they're going to come up with this $2 million. Lakeisha is so annoying throughout this whole episode. I just wish she would go somewhere and just die. I can't stand her. I can't stand Lala's acting. It really just brings down the show sometimes for me. I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but no, I don't buy it at all. So, you know, Ghost goes storming off, you know, go to meet with Tate and Ramona, right? That's her name, Ramona. And they're coming up with this idea, and Ghost comes up with this idea for a fundraiser and to make it at pretty much Club Truth, which was really interesting. And Ramona likes this, and Tate's kind of iffy about it. He doesn't really trust Ghost. He doesn't want him having too much power. He's kind of jealous of him, and so they go through with this fundraiser, which gets really interesting. as we go along in this review. So now Tasha is teaching Lakeisha how to run the books so they don't mess up, and she just really doesn't get it. And I feel like Lakeisha is really going to be a huge major downfall for just everybody, and I think it's almost too late now. But going back to Ghost and Tommy, they're sitting there just driving, just kind of going back and forth, having this conversation, and Ghost wants to know what's going on with Tommy. Are we still beefing after this Tariq shit? But you know, they end up getting cut off by Jason, and Jason figures out what's going on, takes half of their money, and just spares their life. And you know, this leaves Ghost really pissed, and he knows what he has to do now. And so does everybody else. Even Dre ends up stabbing something, and Dre really is bloodthirsty and just a savage, and deserves everything that's coming to him. You got Tasha worried, Tommy worried, everybody's pretty worried. Besides kind of Ghost. Ghost is kind of weird dealing with stuff like this. They meet up with Vincent, and they have Tariq. They beat the shit out of Tariq, which I would have to say this was definitely the highlight of the episode. My favorite part, seeing Tariq finally getting his ass whooped as he deserves, you know, because his parents wasn't going to do it, so why not Vincent? So I really like that scene. Vincent pretty much gives them another 24 hours to make up the rest of the money, so they don't have much time, or you know, they have to scramble around. Meanwhile, you know, Ghost meets up with Benny, cousin Benny, and cousin Benny, I think he's gonna be a huge wild card for the rest of the season. I think he's gonna play a huge part. But so just really keep your eye out for this character going forward. But then we get this scene with Lakeisha. The cops show up, and she's already shook, and they ask Tasha pretty much the same question they asked Ghost: where's Tariq? And they don't know, so she pays a visit to Ghost, but Ghost is occupied by Tate, yelling and screaming at him about paying him back for the money he loaned him. Then Tasha pops in and tells Ghost, like, what are we gonna do about your son, and what are we gonna do about this? And you know, Ghost has an idea to talk to Vincent about just borrowing Tariq for a quick second, which is, this is where it kind of gets a little goofy for me. So Vincent lets Tariq see his mother and stuff, which would have been a red flag to me. It's like, why would you kidnap somebody just to give him back for a quick second? Like, nah, fuck that. But anyways, they meet up with Blanca and the other officer, and I think she has something to do with Effie, maybe. They're probably a couple. I'm probably right about that. Who knows? We're just going to have to see in future episodes, but Tariq pretty much slips up and lies to the cops, and I really like Blanca because she's not stupid. She sees all of them really acting weird, so she's just gonna have to put all the pieces together. Now they come up with this ridiculous idea to get the rest of Vincent's money, is to pretty much stage a robbery of just all these rich, because there's gonna be all these rich people, and they say, hey, why not just fake a stick up? And which sounds ridiculous, but it's TV. You gotta love it. You know, I'm not even really mad about it, but like I said, kind of goofy, not really realistic. But they decide to snatch up one of Vincent's dudes, you know, since they have Tariq, and kind of use that as leverage, while, you know, Tate and Ghost are having fake smiles at this fundraiser, and Ghost is doing what Ghost does. Dre almost gets spotted by Two-Bit. That would have been a wrap, but then this robbery stuff happens, and it kind of goes left, but also works in Tate's favor, as Ghost gives Tate a gun and Tate is able to shoot the gunman that has the shotgun to Ramona's face, pretty much. And pretty much turned him into a hero, which also shows you how much power Ghost really has over Tate, and Ramona really likes that. They're going to bang eventually. So back to Tommy's house, where they find out that Tasha has a connect this whole time. So they get back to work, and you know, they're able to get the rest of Vincent's money and meet up with him. And this is where things get kind of weird for me again, where you have this really dope standoff, but then Benny pops up, and Benny is obviously a higher rank than Vincent and tells him to back off. So Ghost is able to get Tariq back, while Tommy's kind of shitting his pants because he knows he probably fucked with the wrong cousin, and not too sure if Benny knows, but he probably does, and has Ghost's back for right now. And just Ghost and everybody's just really going through some shit right now. And I think this episode wasn't better than last week's, but you know, I'd probably give this episode a 6.5. Not saying that's bad or anything. Last week's episode was just more cohesive, I think, and not all over the place. There's some cool moments in here, but everything with Lakeisha kind of ruined certain scenes for me. What do you guys think, man? I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know, and I'll check y'all out next week. Peace.
What made that comedian different from that comedian? And it was the strength, the inner strength, the style, the confidence they had, not being afraid to fail. And if I can transcend that to a lot of people, whatever, it might not be comedy, it might be in the workplace, to give them that drive, that's when I ain't scared of you came from. You know, you can't be